Hello everyone, this is my 10th devlog for my game Dune. I apologize for the delay in this video. I was very busy over the past week, so I decided to merge that week's video with this one because I wanted to have something to talk about for this devlog, and I didn't really get much done the past week. These past 2 weeks, I worked on adding my first boss to the game. And before I could do this, I had to rewrite my Canon script. The Canon script now has 2 new features for it. They are now capable of firing volleys of shots in quick succession, and they now have an inaccuracy value assigned to them. This allows me to make enemies that use Gatling guns or shotguns against the player. And this is one of the main weapons that the boss will have. I saved modeling the boss until later in the week because I wanted to get the functionality done first. This new boss, called the Phoenix, is a giant mechanical harpy of sorts. This boss functions similar to the harpies, in which it will orbit the player and dive down at them on occasion. However, most of the attacks are replaced with ranged attacks instead. Every 10 seconds, the boss rolls a random value to determine which attack it will use, and there is a 10% chance that it will perform a dive attack, during which the player will be able to deal damage to them. The boss is intended to be defeated by shredding its wings during its highly vulnerable state during a dive attack. After I had the main code for the boss done, I went and changed how the harpies would spawn. Instead of having a region full of rocky spires for them to spawn on top, I wanted them to spawn in small groups in various other regions. The rocky spire region that they originally spawned in was replaced with having a giant nest structure in which the boss would spawn. The intention behind the nest is that whenever you approach it, it will spawn waves of harpies to attack the player, and after all the waves are defeated, the Phoenix will spawn. The nest currently uses a placeholder model that is just a widened version of one of the spires. In the future, I want to make this rock look more like a lived-in cave structure. After I was finished with most of the code, I hopped on over to Blender to make a few models for it. I also took the time to build some skeletal structures for the boneyards. I'm not all too happy with the Phoenix model, but that's something I can improve later. After that was all finished, I made a few tweaks to the battle and set everything up. I originally had an attack that was a bombing run on the player, but I removed that in favor of having a barrage of missiles. I changed how missiles work from the missile boats They now have acceleration, and the missiles that are fired do not have homing, but instead predict where the player will be. This is also much more accurate than how cannons are. That was all for those 2 weeks. I will be working on a new region and polishing up the content for this region the next week after the holidays are over. I will be taking the week off to celebrate with my family. But until next time, goodbye.